Hello, welcome back. I'm Noreen Burke, owner of Call Clutter Fairy Home Organizing, and this is my YouTube channel, The Crafty Organizer. Today I want to show you how I break down my craft room and art supplies on a budget. I want to show you some of the things that work really well for me and then work together with you to show you some things that need to be tweaked and show you the process that I go through to get that. I am trying mic number 3. I know my sound qualities have really been an issue lately, so I'm hoping today's mic works better. If you have experience in filming and you have some suggestions, oh my goodness, please leave them in the comments below. But let's get started here. The first area I want to talk about, and you know that I film in here, so this is my office, so you're getting to see how things are set up, because as soon as I'm done showing you things, I'm going to go ahead and do the visual where you see me talking. So let me jump here though. This first thing that I want to talk about is how I organize my paper scraps and my 12 by 12 paper. So I did a video before on how I set this system up, but let me just review it really quick. This storage bin is how I store my scrapbook paper and my scraps, and this has been a godsend for me. I had tried a lot of different systems. This one's worked the best. This is just a plastic tub, and I left the label on so I could show you what it is, but it's the Sterilite Ultra Latch. It's 30 quarts, and the dimensions are 18, I can't see that, 18 by 12 by basically 11 and a half. So I don't use the lid on it, but what I like about this one is it has the handles so that I can carry it around. It is a little heavy, full. I'd say this is probably 20-25 pounds, about the same as a large bag of dog food. So if you're struggling with heavier things, I might suggest going down on something a little bit smaller, but I don't lift it very often. I have it on a shelf where I can access and just rifle through to get the papers that I want. But what I like about this is, let's say for example, I want to look for a blue paper to work with. I can immediately see what scraps I have before I go cutting into a full sheet, which is really nice. So if I know I want this paper, I'll check to see if I have a scrap first that matches it, and I end up saving a lot of paper that way. But then also what's easy is I can just pull it out, and these are just 12 by 12 scrapbook page protectors. And the 3-ring area that would go into the binder book is where I just put a little label. And these I just taped on with shipping tape, so it was a super easy thing. And then when it comes to putting away a scrap, I can just quickly slide it in. So I leave my opening, which is the top. This is the orientation that it would normally go, but I am flipping it on its side so that the longer part is where my labels will go, and the opening is then on the side. This keeps my scraps clean. I know you guys are going to ask, yeah, but doesn't your scrapbook paper get wet from moisture and doesn't it get dirty? Actually, no. I've been using this system for about 18 months now, and I am so happy with the way this works. So if you have a lot of scrapbook paper and you have a lot of scraps, try this system out. I think it would also work for 8.5 by 11, but then you probably could change directions and sort them this way and have a lot more space. So that's how I store my scrapbook paper. I want to talk about some different storage solutions for you. I use a lot of different ones. So one of my favorites are magazine holders. And yes, they're great for magazines, but I use mine also for holding smaller things. These were some I had gotten a long time ago. I didn't like the color, so I spray painted them silver, and I'm about to take them out and spray paint them again just so that they're more cohesive, but at the time this worked for me. So as you can see, I have these short magazine holders broken down to hold my glue gun when I'm not using it. It lives in here. I have a lot of little chalkboard plaques and stickers, and I also have my chalkboard paints. I keep those all together right here. I have my 5 by 7 paper pads, and those work well inside here, as well as my 6 by 6 paper pads. And then I keep software, which my new computer doesn't have a CD-ROM in it. They have gone completely online, so these will all have to go away, sadly, so I'll be purging that. But magazine holders are great for miscellaneous things. And over here, I use it a lot for templates. I have my labels put together. I keep my sheet protectors in one. All of my small poly bags, which I'm about to show you, I keep inside of this box so that when I need them, I can just pull out the size that I need, and I keep them all within a larger bag so that they're accessible. I use the poly bags for my smalls. As I buy small packages, most of the time they already come in a little cello bag. I don't worry about these falling out. If I'm too worried, I can fold it over with a little bit of tape, but most of the things stay inside. If I buy something that doesn't have, almost all of these are in their original bag, but every once in a while I'll come across something that is just loose. I buy these little poly bags, and they come in all types of sizes, and usually they're ridiculously inexpensive. But I'll just keep those things inside of a bag. I don't even worry about labeling them. And truly, if I'm looking for something, I am not kidding. I dump them out. I quickly look for what I have, and I like going through here on a frequent basis just to see, what do I have in here? And oftentimes what's in here will give me inspiration again. But as you can see, the cleanup is so quick. Oh, there's those flowers I just used for my card making. So this is what I do with all of my smalls. This works really well, and I can access them quickly. I use a jar also for my little tiny ribbons. And then for my bigger ribbons, I just got a tension rod, and I got this from Daiso or the dollar store, I'm not sure which. But I got a tension rod that would span the portion of my bookshelf, and my bookshelf is 36 inches. And this works great. I liked the visual of it, so I chose the ribbons that best displayed well, and then the extra ribbons that either didn't fit what the visual was I was looking for or didn't fit the size because they're too big. I have an extra box down here that has all of my extra ribbons and spools of things. Now you might have already seen this if you've been watching me for a while, but this little shoebox has been magical. Let me show it to you. This is a shoebox that I got from Daiso, and it's more narrow than a traditional shoebox. So I really liked this for different storage solutions. But I went to the dollar store and I bought multiple sets of salt and pepper shakers. And then I took all the various glitters that I had and I just poured them into the salt and pepper shaker. You guys, this has been an amazing solution. Also, if you're buying the small sets of glitter, I just keep the little cello packets because they're so small and they just tuck right into the corner here. And then I also have a couple of these random sets, and I keep these even when they're empty because they fit so nicely inside my shoebox, and I can get access to the colors whenever I want them. And you might not be able to see in the video, but you can easily see what colors are inside the jars. This keeps things so neat and accessible. My kids use this all of the time, and again, they don't do a great job cleaning up, but they follow this. I also make sure I use one of these systems so that whenever I'm glittering something, I put a large piece of scrapbook paper underneath. I'll glitter it up, and then I'll take the piece of paper and tap it into this, because this has a little funnel on it, and I love that because then I can just open up the jar of glitter, tilt it right back in. I always have a paintbrush on hand, and I can just go ahead and sweep all of the balance inside of the jar, and my cleanup is super easy. This just lives on a shelf, so let me show you how I put that away. So when it's time to put it away, this tucks in the back corner, and the shoebox is narrow enough on this shelf that it just fits right in front, and no one would know what's tucked behind it. This is another favorite of mine. Take 2 cookie sheets, flip one upside down, and use a binder clip to keep it closed. When I am working on a project and I want to put it away, this has been my most favorite tip. I can just take the binder clips right off, and all of the supplies that I needed for that project, and this is a giveaway of what I'm working on, Everything is contained inside. It stays neat, it stays together, it stays dust-free, and I can stack them back up. So I can go ahead and work on multiple projects and know what they are. I use a dry erase marker, so I can just wipe this off and then go ahead and write it again. So I'll rewrite that one now. This is what you guys are going to work on with me today. This is my projects to do, my miscellaneous, and it's a mess. So every time I come across something new at the stores, I stick it in here. Or as I have scraps, which I often have, and I don't want to get rid of them because I know they can be used again, I stick them in this little basket, which is great. It means they have a home. But this gets overwhelmed pretty quickly. And I have another box right over here that I've called miscellaneous. And it also becomes a catch-all of scary mystery things. So I'm going to show you how I sort through these things and make sense of this really quick. The first thing I'm going to do is start emptying out this box. And again, it is filled with all types of miscellaneous things. I don't know if you guys do this. This was a box that I got with candy in it, and I loved that it broke down, so I've saved it to use as a template forever, and I've actually used this a ton of times. So leave me a comment below if you do that with boxes once you get them. If you are an avid crafter, you already know we keep everything because we have multi-interests. I genuinely never know what I'm going to need or what's going to strike inspiration. So really quick, I'm just going to start breaking down and putting likes with likes. So automatically, I'm going to set all of my floral things together over here so that they're together. I'm going to keep putting my notions together. Oh, Velcro, so that goes with notions. I have a lot of leftover foam core. I'm going to keep that with my main foam core and just create my scraps in a Ziploc bag so that I don't have to cut into something when it's new. I also seem to have a lot of little magnets, so those are going to go into a bag by themselves. I had some miscellaneous scrapbooking items which I wasn't aware of that were even in here, so I'm going to keep those together. I don't have a scrapbook box anymore, so I will either put these in with my card making or these little things I'm going to put into my smalls jar. This is me being Noreen. I took something apart and obviously got rid of it, but I took off the little pull because it has a place for a label, and obviously I think that's cute. So I have more magnets. Now I do have a couple of miscellaneous things, so those are going to get set aside until I can figure out what to do with them. Okay, that one is a Y. I think that one can go away. I don't know what I was thinking of with that one. I already have a box of template things. This is for my drawer pulls when I make new ones, but I may as well put my other templates in here as well so that things are together. So I'm just going to fold that in, set it inside, and now this can sit on my shelf. And as I'm looking at templates again, I can just pull that right out. I also have these extra label holders, and that's what I used on my scrapbook sheets. These came from something that were pre-done. I think they came with my magazine holder boxes when I bought them, but I didn't want to use these. So I'm going to save these and put it in with my labels box so that if I need to label something again, I already have those together. I probably kept this just for the tin, but let's find out what's inside. Flowers! Shame on me! Oh, I know you guys feel me on this. I love buying things and then forgetting. So I'm going to take these out so that I remember seeing them. I obviously wanted the tin for a gift, so that's okay. I'm going to keep the tin, but I'm going to put these in with my card making things so that I have them available when I want to do a project. Same with this little cutie. I remember I went to a garage of a woman who used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and she had so many fun scrapbook things, and she was selling her supplies because she had so many by the bag, by the brown paper bag, for $5 per bag. I never felt like Rockefeller more. I think I bought 5 or 6 bags and I got so many things. So a lot of this came from when I did that sale. And again, I'm just going to put all of this in with the card making and scrapbooking. I bought this for a pumpkin one year because it's our letter, but I never ended up doing anything with it. I have a sticker box, so I'm going to add that to my sticker box. All right, categories are broken down, so here's what we have. I have a lot of material and sewing notions like hook and loop and elastic, so I'm going to keep all of that together. I had a lot of floral wires with different gauges, and I'm going to go ahead and put those together. I have a lot of the floral tape and then some of the foam as well as some of the moss, so I'm going to keep that together as a category. I like doing little pull-out cards and scrapbooks, you know, the type that fold up accordion style and you put inside, so I really like keeping these types of containers. So I am going to go ahead and create kind of a scrapbook section so that these things can be put together. And then I have what is genuinely miscellaneous. These are upcoming projects or items that I just need here and there that aren't going with anything else. So I'm going to keep my miscellaneous box. It always works well for me. And when I'm putting things away quickly, I can put it in the miscellaneous box if I'm not sure where to put it. It keeps things neat and tidy and allows me to know where to get it. But I have to be more diligent in going through this about every 6 months so that things don't get lost and I don't forget about supplies that I have. This is going to go into my card making. This goes with my other foam core. I'm going to put this with labeling because that's what it's for. And when I'm coming up with a project, I'll remember now that I have these cute little label holders to use. And then these are things I've decided to just let go. If I ever need to make a cardboard stand, I certainly have enough cardstock. I can just create another one of these. So keeping this isn't serving me. Likewise, this is not my style at all anymore. I probably got that from that big scrapbook sale. I'm going to let that go. And then these were file folder fasteners, which I thought would probably be cute with a scrapbook page or a card. I haven't used these and I've had them for years, so I'm going to go ahead and let somebody else use that. Then I have my little magnets and I think that's it. So this broke down very quickly. Now I'm going to show you how I store it all inside of my box here. So this is solely going to be my miscellaneous and the projects that I have coming up. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but these are some of them. Those boxes are some of them. Those will go in my upcoming project box. So ready for the magic? All right, here's what we have. I bagged them all up in 1 gallon Ziploc bags. And these aren't even the real Ziploc brand. These are the ones that I get from the Dollar Tree, but these work really well with breaking down supplies and categories. So now that these are in here, I took a manila file folder and I did cut it down just a little bit. And as you can see, I even used used ones so that I could write on top. And this helps them to stand up inside the box. So I'm going to show you what's inside and put them in the box, and then I'll show you what the box looks like. So all of my wires, and these are the floral wires. I also use some of these for crafting. This is fishing wire, but I've got all my wires in here. The small containers we spoke of, I put those inside. The magnets, and I know you're going to think, why did you use such a big bag for something so small? If I keep these consistent, it'll be easier to find them inside the box, but also it helps me if I get more supplies to have an available space to put those things inside. The this and that category is probably the fullest bag, but there are so many randoms in there. I have my rubber bands, a bag of feathers. These were the leftovers from when I took apart the soda cans when I made my vinyl storage. I don't know if I'll use those or not, but they have a home, and those are also inside their own small bag inside. My bamboo skewers, so this truly is just a random bag of this and that, but when I'm crafting, I know these are in my miscellaneous box. I reach all of the time in here, and what happens is I have to dig through the entire box to find them. Now I can just pull out my this and that bag and have access to my supplies. This needed a larger bag. This is a 2.5 large storage size bag, and again, this comes from the Dollar Tree. You get 5 of these, I think, in the box, And this is a really nice size. So if you have anything that's a 12 by 12 project that you're working on for scrapbooking or small sewing projects, this is the perfect size for that. So this one will have to fold over just a little bit, but I still have my manila folder, cleanly labeling. And then the last one I have is my floral supplies. Try and press out the air a little if you can, just so it doesn't take up extra space. But you can see I have these set up bulky, and it's going to work just fine. This was a large IKEA box that I got a long time ago. This is the Tina line, and they've sadly discontinued the blue, which I loved so much, but they do still have them available in other colors. So just because I'm really weird, I'm going to go ahead and quickly alphabetize these so that when I'm looking for something, I can just zip through. But look at how much space is still left in there, you guys. So now I can quickly leaf through, look for the item that I want, be able to pull it out, access it, and drop it right back in. Thank you for joining me today while I broke down my miscellaneous that ended up being great when it was all done. I'm really happy with the way it works now. I had forgotten I had some of those supplies, so I'm excited to start some new projects with those the rest of this weekend. Leave me a comment below. Let me know which of these tips worked best for you that you might try in your own space. And if you have a different technique, please share it with your fellow crafters. We love getting new ideas, and you never know when an idea that you have might spark a whole different direction for someone and allow them to get their space organized. Don't forget to click that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, please click that button. Every time you do, Domino gets a new toy. I will see you guys in 2 days. Bye.